Good morning, everyone. I'd like to begin with some audience participation. I know I'm not the only veteran in this crowd, so anyone who's ever served in any of the branches of our military, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your service. And next, anyone who has any veterans in their family, any close family members who've ever served our country in any of the military branches, please stand. Wow. And thank all of you very much for supporting your loved ones. Without that support, they would not be able to do their job. And lastly, anyone in this crowd who's ever served their country or their community in any political or civil association, please stand. And I think there's more of you, but we get it. So let's pass on that spirit of service to our students. Service is a multi-dimensional and multi-layered concept. At its best, it's noble, sacrificial, selfless, and it elevates both those who give and those who receive. At its worst, it can be nothing more than virtue signaling or resume building, and it can corrupt both givers and receivers. But there's much more in serving others than many Americans, and especially our students, may realize. Over the summer, I took a course called De Tocqueville and the American Experiment. It was about arguably the best book ever written about America, and also the best book ever written about democracy. It's the same book, Democracy in America by Alexis de Tocqueville. He was only 25 when he sailed to America from France in 1831, and he spent about a year and a half here making his observations, went back home, and wrote his book. Today, Tocqueville is equally revered across our political spectrum. His primary themes: first, the essence of democracy is equality, and he emphasized equality of conditions. Yes, we're all different. We all have different talents and abilities and resources, advantages or disadvantages, but we have no aristocracy. We have no nobility in America. We all enter the public arena on an equal basis. When I meet John Sandville for breakfast tomorrow, we're going to be treated the same as any other customer in that restaurant. That's an essential characteristic of our democracy. Second, our democracy depends on broad participation of citizens in public life at a local level. Third, but he worried that equality can lead to people tending to withdraw into themselves. We want to be special, we want to feel special, and so there's a tendency to pull into ourselves or into our family units or into our units of close friends and away from the public arena. And he worried about that because the success of democracy hinges on vibrant local political and social institutions and a very active citizenry. And it goes beyond just voting at elections. Tocqueville had much to say about our theme of service today. On local government, he said that people develop democratic habits by participating in government and seeing results at a local level. We need to act together locally to get things done and to realize our dependency on one another. On political associations, these gather people of divergent minds to work together toward a common goal. They practice what he called self-interest, well understood, recognizing that in serving others, they're also serving themselves. On civic associations, these are the great complement to our political associations. They bind Americans together, but they also support our democracy. They bring people out of themselves and involve them in activities together that better their communities. They work and they're efficient. And just as an example, there's a local charity that I've been participating in, volunteering in as a board member for the past 30 years. On a budget of about $60,000 per year, we have one nearly full-time employee, a few part-time employees, many volunteers, and we serve about 1,000 of our local immigrants each year, locally in the Kennett Square area. We provide English classes, citizenship classes. We help them with their immigration applications and take them into Philadelphia for their citizenship test and their meetings. We provide them with donated furniture. Oftentimes, we've delivered furniture into homes, beds, for example, where there are no beds. And they're actually sleeping in our area on the floor. We don't have to go far to see some of those kinds of conditions. We provide Thanksgiving baskets, Christmas gifts, counseling, referrals, and by the way, that $60,000 budget is all from volunteer individuals and organizations, and about half of it is from our clients themselves, who donate as they are able. And over the years, we've seen a movement from individuals who come in to the area to work principally in the mushroom industry and then save their money, send some of it home, and then return home to now where their families are here and their kids are going to school, and some of them have graduated into the workplace, some of them to college, and some of them have come back to volunteer, having first received services and now providing services themselves. And finally, individualism. De Tocqueville worried that equality of conditions can lead to a withdrawal from public life. He did worry that we might tend to withdraw into ourselves, have an excessive spirit of individualism into our families, our close friends. And today we talk about associating within our own zip codes. And so often Americans find themselves in small communities with people who think like themselves, who are similarly situated to themselves, and we're missing the reaching out to that broad spectrum of American life. And beyond that, it threatens our democracy, because we require to have a functional, thriving, working democracy, that kind of involvement of citizens in their communities across the political spectrum. Because despotism thrives when people do not bond together, so excessive individualism is a danger for democracy that he worried about, and we should too. And the great antidote to that is freedom. When citizens act together, they become empowered, they learn that they depend on one another, and they learn that there is a relationship between the individual and the common interest. So service not only benefits our fellow Americans, our communities, and ourselves, it's also an essential underpinning to our democracy. It's an excellent theme for us today. We're all living it, and I thank you for it. And finally, To all of my Unionville-Chadds-Ford colleagues, I want each of you to know that your administrators, your school board, your students, and your community appreciate your work and believe in you. You are doing the most important job in our community. Thank you. Have a wonderful, fun, and fulfilling school year.